Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here once again, but now for the fifth round of the FSR 2017 Winter Series. My name's Felix van Delft, and I am joined today once again by Dave Paling.
Hello Felix, hello everybody, hope everyone's well today. I know I'm not too great, and I'm curious Felix, what was it that a moment ago you just went, oh no, about? Would you like to explain yourself, young man?
Well, something happened that I wasn't expecting, but nothing too serious.
Are you training to be a politician, ducking the question? Well done.
Maybe, but yeah, let's get ready to roll. I mean, the qualifying session is about to begin here today, and yeah, it's gonna be something exciting once again. I think we have about 30 drivers lined up once again, 25 about that at the moment in the practice session, I believe. So again, quite a big field. Valencia street circuit is our track for today. Quite a long track relatively, 25 turns, 5.4 kilometers. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting today once again.
Yes, I think it could be. I mean, Valencia is one of those circuits that I always enjoyed racing around here, but it's one of those where if your car isn't feeling quite right for you, there's a lot of barriers that can end your race. Now, I haven't driven around here for quite some time, so it's going to take me a little while to get used to corner numbers and things like that. But we have got 24 drivers, I believe, 24 drivers battling it out for the victories here today, because I believe we have two races, sprint race and a feature race, or is it the other way around? Sprint race and feature race.
Yeah, feature race. Feature race first and then the sprint race. You can see it on the screen as well. The feature race will have 29 laps or 28 laps, sorry, and then we have a sprint race of 14 laps. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Also, with that said, the sprint race will have a reversed top 10 grid, just so the top 10 finishers in the feature race will be switched around. So the winner will be on 10th position on the grid for the sprint race, and the guy that finished on 10th position in the feature race will be on pole position in the sprint race. I believe we are at the moment switching to the qualifying session. Yes, we will have a 20-minute qualifying session. So let's get to the screen and to the game, and let's start this party, so to say. So here we are watching the pit lane. It is quite a narrow circuit, but it's not like Monaco narrow.
No, it's not. I mean, there's some very, very high-speed sections as well. I want to mention quickly as well, I've spotted that a few people have asked on forums and Discord recently whether the AMA in FSR 2017 is going to be using the FSR 2017 car. And the answer is no. AMA will be using this car that is being used in the Winter Series now. Not as quick as the FSR WC ASUM Pro car, however, it is great fun to drive. Plenty of grip, although around this track, I don't know if that's going to help you too much, because if you get 2 or 3 wide into some of these corners, we're going to be seeing some big crashes. And talking about crashes, I've got a little bit of a question for you, Felix, if you're interested in trying to answer it.
Oh dear. Oh, fire at it.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch, you're more than welcome to have a go at answering this as well. But who was the first person to not finish a race in Valencia? And I am talking about that particular race series that we won't mention for copyright reasons, but they drive cars that look similar to this and very, very quick. So yeah, who was the first to not finish?
Oh wow. Oh jeez. I don't know. I mean, jeez.
No Googling either, anybody. No Googling, no
I'm not
cheating.
typing.
Yeah, I like it. Come on, Felix, test your knowledge.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Only guy that springs to mind when I hear the Valencia name, it's Mark Webber. But It's probably not the first one.
I'll tell you what, someone who's just finished early here is Michael Ayres. He's just had a big crash into the barriers. He's back into the pit lane, yeah, so his outlap's not quite gone to plan.
Let's get an instant replay of that. Michael Ayres. What's coming up to the section is that, I believe, the second sector. Did he clip the inside wall somewhere, or did he clip the curb? Oh, he hit the curb and just spun around a little bit loose on the rear, and then into the wall he goes. That's his first qualifying lap, already down the drain.
Yep, and Carol Basco, I believe, is on a flying lap now. He's just going sideways around turn 5, I think it is. The section of the track that I used to really like, but it doesn't look like he is liking it as much at this time.
Yeah, it is a difficult track. A couple of difficult corners as Michael spins again on his outlap. First turnabout where he went to, so that's interesting. But this is something we have to mention here. The qualifying is limited for these guys, so you only basically have 4 tries, and you have a total of 12 laps, so to say. So that is an in lap, a hot lap, and an out lap included. So basically 4 tries each. But if you ruin your in or your out lap already, then then you're gonna have a problem, because you basically have ruined 1 qualifying lap then. So
well, I wasn't fully listening then, I do apologise, but I know what you're trying to say. So just to clarify, obviously the drivers have got 12 laps, and as soon as they cross the pit lane white line on the exit, that's 1 lap. That counts as 1 lap, and that's why the drivers only get technically 4 laps. But are they allowed, if they wanted to, obviously exit the pits and go and do 2 flying laps back to back, and then come back in the pits, which would class as 4 laps in total?
I don't know. I actually don't know about the ruling around that. I believe
Sorry, I just need to interrupt. Matthew Toussaint's on pole position. No, he's not, because Lucas Schmidt has just beaten him by 0.8 of a second.
For a brief moment there, Matthew could be happy with himself, putting himself in pole position, but now the real flying times are coming in. Omar Razol puts himself up to pole position now, even almost a second quicker than what Lucas Schmidt did only a second ago. And now Kirill is coming to the line. He's got 2 purple sectors so far. This is gonna be a good lap. Let's see. Here we go. 140.7. So also half a second quicker than Omar. Really, really nice lap from Kirill Birukov. We've seen him in the last two races in the Winter Series here, also being really quick. However, not being so consistent in the race and making a lot of mistakes, and therefore not being able to take a win home so far.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't seen the last couple of Winter Series races, unfortunately. But I do know that Martin Stefanko and Blair Disley and James Sadler are very, very close at the top of the standings for taking the title in the Winter Series. But obviously still a handful of races to do. Okay, yes. Or am I wrong? How many races are left? Or just watching George Winter, he had a green sector 1 and 2, but he's just spun.
I just was watching that as well, so George Winter has to try again. I believe we have about only 1 or 2 races left. Yeah, 1 race left after this. Dubai, only Dubai after this. That's gonna be next week, February the 25th. It's gonna be an interesting race. Not a very well-known circuit, I guess, Dubai. But I think it's quite a fun circuit to drive around. So,
is it Dubai Autodrome?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's sort of played on Project Cars, it's on there. I think it's on a couple of other ones as well. But yeah, I mean, it is a tricky circuit. Plenty of dust around there as well.
Yeah. So, the moment watching George Redford coming through the last sector, he is a little bit quicker in the first and second sector so far. Let's see what he can do in this last sector, coming to the last couple of corners now, making sure he brakes in time for that quite tight last corner, taking as wide entry as possible, a little bit over the blue stuff there. Don't believe that's really in the track limits, so to say, Mr. Radford, but puts himself up to 7th, down to 8th as Martin Stefanko comes over the line for 2nd position. And it was a
good looking lap from Stefanko, although he's got a bit of time to find. And yeah, around here, if you're on the blue bits, you're either off the track, on a wall, or you're flying. So yeah, blue bits are definitely to be avoided. Some information as well. The quali laps, the drivers in the Winter Series are allowed to use them however they want. So if they wanted, they could leave the pits and go and do 10 flying laps and then back into the pits, and it would work out at 12 in total. But I doubt we'll see anybody doing 2 flying back-to-back laps.
Yeah, I think it's really the tires are getting too much punishment then, and I think you are better off with starting again with a new set of tires than doing 2 after, unless you like make a mistake in like your first corner of the lap and you've not ruined your tires yet, and you decide to take a slow out lap once again and then start again, then it's maybe helping you, but I don't think in any other case it's really beneficial.
Well, one of the ways I found it quite useful was you go for your first flying lap, and let's say you completely balls it up, you end up binning it in the wall, and you've effectively lost yourself a lap, and you can't. Mathematically, it works out better for you to do a double flying lap on one of your next runs, so that you can use the maximum amount of laps rather than having 1 lap left over that you can't use, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. So let's see, is there anybody on a lap at the moment? A couple of guys on an out lap, and for example, Danny van der Niet is a new name in the Winter Series today. Of course, it's not a new name in FSR whatsoever. I think he's been driving since, is it 2012, maybe even earlier. Really experienced guy in FSR, and let's see what he can do today. We of course have seen a couple of experienced names in the Winter Series so far. Martin Stefanko is a name, Blair Disley, Lucas Schmidt also, Georg Winter, but let's see what Danny can do.
Well, Danny's heading into one of the couple of hairpins around this circuit, running a little bit wide there. And the thing about this Valencia circuit is that can happen at any moment.
Yep. So that's lap gone for Danny van der Niet. And yeah, he's got to try again. I think it was his second try already. So has to keep it clean for now. Otherwise he's not going to have a lap at all. So
I'm just going to keep an eye on Kirill Barakov. He's on an out lap at the moment, so I'm going to keep an eye on him. I'll let you know when he's starting a flying lap, because he is currently on pole position at the moment, so I'll give you a shout when that happens, and if you do want to switch over to him, you can do.
Yeah, I will definitely do so. At the moment I'm looking at Lucas Schmidt coming through the second sector. Looking nice and stable so far. A little bit quicker in the second sector as well. Already was 1.5 tenths quicker in the first sector, so if he continues like this, he's gonna move up a spot, maybe 2 even. Well, at the moment he needs to find a little bit more than that.
Kirill's just about to start his lap.
Alright, just see how Lucas Schmidt does in this lap. In this last sector is gonna be crucial for him. He needs to gain a lot of time. Doesn't do so, however, only 1.5 tenths, so gets ever so close, a little bit closer to the guys in front, but it is not enough at the moment. Let's switch to Kirill.
Well, Kirill's had quite a nice, tidy first few corners, getting very, very close to the wall, but not too close to touch it. Got to get ready for the next braking zone now. It's just after a corner, heavy braking zone. Tight right into a kink left, missed the barrier on the left, which he manages to do, get ready for the next tight right, and he's avoided the apex by a mile, perhaps trying to open up the corner a little bit. Now on to a fast bend away, and I can't remember what corner's coming next, so this is going to be a surprise for me, but I think it's a nice heavy braking right hand corner. Yep. Let's see how he gets on down into there, late on the brakes, hugging the apex nicely, get on that power. holding it nicely through there. Carry the speed through this right. He opens up. Is it the barrier though? That sent him wide. Yep. That's lap over.
Yeah, that's indeed lap over. Omar Rasol did put himself in top, just as we were watching that with a very nice lap. Just a little bit quicker than Kirill and Martin Stefanko. Martin Stefanko also improved his lap time, but it was not enough to beat Kirill Birukov or Omar Rasol at the moment. So, yeah, it's gonna be all or nothing now for Martin Stefanko. He has got 2 tries left. Kirill has only got 1 try left. And the same goes for Omar, I believe. So it's gonna be an interesting closing stage of this qualifying session. Only 7.5 minutes remaining now, so we are well over half of the session.
Okay, I was going to keep an eye on the timing screen. If anyone does want to have a look at the live timing, I believe there are links in the description on YouTube. You can click on the live timing link and it will show you the sector times that the drivers are putting in, and it will show you just how wrong me and Felix get things at times. Okay, more me, but yeah, it's a good way of spying on how we're doing in the commentary box.
Exactly. Also, you might have noticed it already just a minute or 2 ago. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comment section or on either Twitch or YouTube with the hashtag AskFSR, and we will try to answer them, at least when we have time to do so, if these drivers give us any time to do so. But, we will do our best to at least take a look every once in a while. At the moment looking at Ten Capocate going for quite an improvement. Moment down in 20th position. Stays in 20th position though, only improves by half a second, but it's not enough for 19th at the moment. The gap still 7 tenths between him and Asher Vardan, who is in 19th position.
And George Winter, or Georg Winter, has just gone through sector 1 with a 26.526, closely followed by Alvarado and Reed that are just slightly behind him on lap time. But yeah, Georg's sitting in 11th place at the moment. Really, he probably should be somewhere around about 5th place. We'll see how he gets on for the rest of his lap. I tell you what, some of the drivers going a little bit deep at a couple of the hairpins around this circuit. I don't know whether they're just chancing it with their brakes or they're just avoiding apexes like the plague.
A little bit twitchy there from George Winter, also on the exit of turn 10. Not really helping his chances here. And yeah, you see it there, he's lost almost half a second in only the second sector, so not a good time for George Winter coming up, I guess. Maybe he's gonna do another lap now, because he's not looking to be pushing at all. Yeah, 6 tenths slower than his previous best, and he's carrying on. So, carrying on for another try. At the moment, also Michi Hoyer, Kirill is on a lap. Martin Stefanko just started his lap, as did Michi Hoyer, and Karel Basko is also in the second sector at the moment. So, a lot of guys in their laps at the moment. So, lap times are going to be streaming in.
I tell you what, it's tight up at the top as well. I mean, less than 1/10 of a second covering the top 3. So yeah, very close up there. 10 seconds though covers the whole grid at the moment. That's okay, 5 seconds covering down to 23rd, but then there's a big gap down to Clayton Brown in 24th.
Yep. Well, definitely at the moment I'm watching on board with Martin Stefanko. He's coming through the last couple of corners in the second sector now. And it's really close, but it's a purple second sector actually for Martin Stefanko. But is it gonna be enough? His last sector is gonna have to be spot on then, because at the moment it's not quick enough. Michi Hoyer did improve his time, however didn't improve his position. Stays in 4th position at the moment. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the last corner from Martin Stefanko, coming to the line now. It is not enough. Oh, lost a lot of time in that last sector. almost a second. That's a lot of time to lose in only a couple of corners and mainly straight. But yeah, maybe he did make a mistake that I missed. So
well, the nature of that final sector, it is very quick. So you make one tiny mistake and it can cost you a massive amount of time.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's a very quick sector, and yeah, as you say.
Kirill is about to start another flying lap. Omar still in the pits at the moment, though.
Yeah, Omar still has one try. Maybe he's waiting just to get the best possible grip of the track. He needs to make sure he doesn't make it too late, though. I've got some experience with being very late over the line on your outlap with only 1 second to go. I think I've done it in the previous season about 2-3 times, that I really, with maybe 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock, that I crossed the line to start my last lap.
Did you ever have it where you crossed the line and went, oh yes, just made it, and then you spun?
No, actually, I don't think so.
You're doing well then. That's the kind of thing I'd do. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I made it, right, let's go. And then I'd have a crash.
Well, you at the moment not improving in the first sector. Almost a 10th of his personal best. So it's looking good for Omar at the moment. However, second sector's still to be done for Kirill, also the third sector, of course. Michael Ayres is, however, improving on his time. Maybe he's gonna be able to challenge Michi Hoyer. Quite a big gap between them, though.
Well, Stefanko and Hoyer, they're both back out on track on outlaps, getting ready to try and improve on their times. Kirill, he's coming around the final corner.
It's not gonna be enough, I think.
I agree with you. I don't think it is going to be enough.
No.
No, it's not.
So that is it for Kirill.
Stefanko will be getting to start his lap before Hoyer.
I think Kirill just got disqualified. Maybe he did a lap too much, because he dropped down all the way to 26.
He did, yeah, 13. He did 13 laps.
Oy.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
So yeah, there is the lap limit kicking in. If you make one mistake, it doesn't mean you can do another lap. So yeah, really, really unfortunate there for Kirill.
Michael Ayres improved on his lap time, but unfortunately not his position.
So keeps himself in fourth now. He did gain a good position basically, because Kirill dropped down all the way. Lucas Schmidt is...
sorry, go on.
Lucas Schmidt is one of the few guys still on the lap at the moment. Well, I say that. Blair Disley is also on the lap. Gabriel Martin Alvarado is also on the lap. A lot of guys on an outlap as well.
Yeah, I was wrong as well. Hoyer started his flying lap before Stefanko did. So those two are also out there. And Hoyer's just on a purple sector 1, a 25.938. Stefanko's done a 25.977. So both of those guys pushing it for this final lap.
Ooh, Stefanko is back in the pit lane. What happened to him? Maybe he made a mistake somewhere. So it is qualifying over for Martin Stefanko. So the only guy at the moment that's going to be able to challenge Omar Rasol is either going to be Michi Hoyer or somebody further down that somehow does a surprise attack and does critical damage to Omar Rasol. But let's see what Michi Hoyer can do. I think he's the one that's really going to be able to challenge him or not.
It's been looking nice and tidy so far, and I tell you what, Sector 2 or maybe lost a 10th or 2, but it's showing 2 tenths up. I think if that's on his own time, then he's still got a 10th to find. And if he's can carry the pace through this final sector, I think the last corner, just coming up now, this braking zone, getting this braking zone right, to get the apex right, to be able to get the power down. And it's all now about these last few meters. Can he do it? Second place.
Just a little bit too slow for Michi Hoyer, but yeah, it's really close there on the top. less than a tenth between the top 3 guys, and yeah, really nice qualifying session here. Omar Masol is still on a lap, and I think he abandoned it because he realized that he didn't need to improve, or he did make a mistake or something, because his second sector is over a minute. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he's probably had a big off there and then decided to drive it back to the pits so you can have the camera on him. But I want to point out, though, quickly, I mean, we talked quite a bit about the laps and how you can use them in qualifying. And for Kirill, I do remember seeing, we saw on one of his early laps that he had a big crash. Now, that's the kind of thing where I was saying, mathematically, your laps now won't work out if you try and do one lap flying runs. Unfortunately for Kirill, that's what's caught him out, and that's where he could have perhaps benefited by doing a double flying lap on one of his stints. He would have only have done the 12 laps then, but unfortunately he did cross the line, which means a 13th lap and a penalty to the back of the grid.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Kirill, but yeah, maybe once again his inexperience showing up, just like last couple of races, just making those little mistakes that makes him vulnerable, I how to say. But now we are going into a 10-minute warming up session, so these guys can get used to higher fuel loads. Refueling is disabled here in this series, so well, it's not disabled, but I believe it takes like a minute to put 1 liter in your car, so it's not really very beneficiary.
I have heard that it can take a while. But I mean, the warm-up session, obviously you get the fuel in, you get a feel for the car, you check where your pit box is probably, if you need to pit in the sprint race, check where your pit box is because you don't want to overshoot it. There's a lot of useful things that you can use this 10 minutes for. Now, something I was just wondering, Felix. I mean, I would guess that quite a few of the viewers have things that they would like to know about Formula Sim racing. I mean, would you be happy about us perhaps, while we're watching the guys drive around, perhaps us talking about a few things for the upcoming season?
Yeah, definitely. That's a very good plan, if you ask me. Of course, the season is getting closer and closer over the coming weeks. It's only basically less than a month now until we are starting the 2017 season in Australia.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, if we open this up to sort of the viewers, if you've got any questions you would like to ask us about Formula Sim Racing, whether it be the Winter Series or the 2017 season coming up, just pop at FSR in either the Twitch chat or on the YouTube chat, and we'll answer what we can, or we'll find out the information. And one of the first questions can be, so what is the date of the first races of FSR 2017? And me and Felix will quickly rush to find out.
Yeah, I believe it's the 5th of March. That's gonna be the first race weekend here. Of course, we're gonna have basically the usual time schedules as we've had for 2 years now already, I believe. So on this Saturday, it is gonna be the Ace division driving the full race length, and then on the Sunday of 5th March, we are gonna have the Pro category first in the start of the afternoon, and then after that we're gonna have the World Championship race as usual. So yeah, it's gonna be again, it's gonna be a great season if you ask me.
Hopefully it will be. And the AMA series is going to be run slightly different to last season. The AMA series this season, it will be in these cars that the Winter Series drivers are using now, but those races are only going to be hosted when there is a race in the FSR 2017 season that is a European circuit. So at Australia, Melbourne round 1, there's no AMA, but I think Spain round 3, there will be an AMA race there. Obviously all of this information you can find by checking out the FSR forums. Obviously the information is there, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that the AMA isn't going to be every single round.
Yeah, exactly. You can You can find all the information about the AMA series, about the Pro Series, about the A Series, and also about the World Championship Series. You can find it all on our forums. I believe the links are down in our description on YouTube and Twitch. Just click on them and go to the forum tab, and on the FSR League divisions you can see every information about all the leagues. So yeah, take a look if you're interested, and if you have questions you can always either make a thread on the forums or post a message on our Facebook page or something, and or if you have questions now you can ask them to us.
Yeah, and to a degree, it doesn't matter how daft you might think the question is. Okay, some questions may be daft. I mean, for example, if your message is, why won't my car go above 89 kilometers an hour when I leave the pits? That's something you should probably be able to find out yourself. And if you have had that problem, there's a pit limiter button you need to press. But yeah, don't be afraid of asking questions. There are people there that may be able to help out. Something I would say as well, Felix, is, I mean, for people that perhaps are not used to Formula Sim racing and what happens in the off-season leading up to the season, the cars that we're going to be using, they get updated a lot in the off-season, don't they? And some people perhaps find it frustrating because they get a car, they do a bit of setup work on it, and then it changes. But there's very good reasons for multiple updates on the car, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a process that's it takes time, and it takes a lot of feedback also from the drivers, and so to make it really feel like a good car that's good for racing as well and fun to drive also, but also still resembles like a real car. It doesn't necessarily need to be the quickest car that's ever made or something. It needs to be in quite various aspects, needs to be good and on point, and yeah, that takes trial and error to say to get that right. And it's not like in just a snap of the finger it's done.
Yeah, definitely. It does take a lot of work, and also, I mean, I have the view of the car should not be easy to drive. It'd be easy to make it easy to drive, but that's not what it's about, really. When it's the pinnacle, that's not what it's about, and that's what hopefully we'll be looking at again in FSR in 2017. Couple of other thoughts. I mean, no one's really asking any questions on YouTube or Twitch at the moment, but so I'll keep just asking you, Felix, because I think it could be informative stuff for people. Race distances in World Championship, Ace and Pro, there is a slight variation in those. World Championship and Ace, they're 100% race distance with weather effective as well. So if it's raining at the circuit in real life, then it'll be raining for the FSR drivers. Pro, however, is 75% race distance, and there is no wet weather. There's still weather, so if it's cold, it's cold, but if it's raining, we get kind of safe from that. And I have heard a rumour that if your name begins with M, you have to start from the back of the grid at every race.
Oh, really? If it begins with M?
M.
Okay.
M for Martin.
All right. Yeah. Well then.
You can pick one as well, Felix, if you like. Who would you like to start at the back of the grid every race?
Well, as I'm probably driving an Ace this year, I think it's gonna start with a C. Yeah.
Is that a surname beginning with a C?
No, it's the first name. If it's a surname, it begins with an R.
Oh, I know what you're on about. I could say one or the other, and I could offend either. It's either Christopher Waby or it's Cameron Wadger.
Yeah, maybe both.
Could be. Just watch them crash into each other, you'll be fine.
Exactly. But yeah, I think it is. It's gonna be, as I said before, it's gonna be a very interesting season. Of course, we've got.
So I've just checked on Twitch, and there is a question from someone for you, Felix, and it's what do you make of Raby's chances of winning in Ace?
Well, I don't know. To be totally honest here, Ace is gonna be very interesting. Looking at it at the moment, there are a lot of very competitive guys going to start in Ace. Already confirmed for Ace, guys like Christopher Raby, for example. He's been very quick in the Pro and AMA series last year. And but also guys like Florian Becker. He's finished, I believe, 3rd overall in the Ace Championship last year. So it's gonna be. I mean, I really don't know what to expect from it. To be honest.
Yeah, I've also been told that I'm wrong and that real racing cars are easy to drive up to the limit. It's a big misconception that they should be hard to drive. That's as far away from realism as you can get. Well, that's just my opinion. My opinion is that they shouldn't be easy. You take the FSR car from last season and the first mod of FSR 2017, and the first mod of FSR 2017 was too easy to drive. And I mean, if anybody could come along, jump in it and get it around the track, no problem. That, for me personally, is a little bit wrong. There should be difficulty to getting the car set up right, being able to get it round the corners as quickly as physically possible. I like that level of difficulty to it, a challenge to it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree fully with you there. It's still, I mean, might be different in real life. Of course, it's different in real life. We are sitting behind a computer screen without any force, without any G-forces applying to our body.
Or the fear of dying.
Unless you drive in the Pro Series, I always say.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Sometimes some green card pops up in your mirror and just rams you in the back.
I don't know what you read. Yeah, I don't know what you read.
No idea. But
I'm so old now, I've forgotten that.
Of course you did. But yeah, it is different. Of course, it has a lot of similarities, but still, it is also something you need to take into account that it's not a Cody's game we're driving here. It's a game with a lot of high definition, high detailed physics, and in my opinion, we need to at least try to make the best of that and make use of that in every way we can.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for example, I've done it with a few people that I know that have never driven on a sim, and they've come round to mine, and I'm like, I'll have a go in this car. And the first thing I do to them is I say, go as fast as you can and just bang the brakes on and lock up the front wheels. And they're like, why? I said, you'll see. They lock it up and then I tell them to drive on. And that effect they get afterwards is something that they've never experienced before. Now, you may be able to get rid of that because as a driver, it's really annoying having your steering wheel vibrate in your hands like something I won't mention. It'd perhaps be easy to get rid of that effect. But should you? No. It should be difficult and it should punish you if you get it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And as I already said, I fully agree on you there. But I think it is right about time. The warm-up is ending. So the drivers are getting ready to go to the grid. I believe we are gonna do a practice start first. So I will just pop off for now. Put in a little bit of a Trustmaster advertisement, and then we will be right back with you to start the feature race here. We're gonna drive for 25 or 24 laps here at the and then we will be right back with you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now lined up on the grid, ready to get rolling. The guys just start to roll off the grid here. And yeah, Dave, would you like to take us through the first couple of guys here at the first feature race?
I can do in just a moment. You caught me slightly off guard there. Yeah, so in first place we have Omar Rassol, and in second place we have Michi Hoyer. Third place we have Martin Stefanko, and in fourth we have Lucas Schmidt. Fifth place we have Michael Ayres, and in sixth place we have Blair Disley. Seventh we have Karol Basco. Eighth Ivan Leonov. Ninth Dylan Scrivens. 10th, Gabriel Martin Alvarado, and 11th downwards is where we're probably going to see a hell of a lot of carnage, so I won't go through those names just yet. We might wait until lap 3 for that one. But as for the standings, for Martin Stefanko, it's a good qualifying result for him because his closest rival in the race is Blair Disley, who's going to be starting in 6th place.
Yeah. Blair didn't have the best of qualifying sessions, and he's now gonna have to fight his way back. Of course, Blair has been, well, to say, quite a superstar in the sprint races so far, and he's won about 3 of them, I believe. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what's gonna happen. It's always. Yeah.
It is. I'll give a quick run through sort of the top 5 in the standings. We've got Martin Stefanko on 94 points, Blair Disley on 89, James Sadler on 73, Arif Roslan. Is that? Sorry, I thought for a moment that was Omar Rassol with a slightly different name, but it's not. Arif Roslan, he's on 66 points, Michi Hoyer on 60, so a big gap between 1st and 5th, but with what effectively is 2 races today and then another 4 races to go at 2 different circuits, still plenty of points up for grabs.
Yeah. So the guys getting through here, a lot of cars you can see. It's quite a big gap between Omar and Michi Hoyer. It's just a minute to go, but I believe everybody is now getting through these last couple of corners, and Michi and Omar warming up their tires. Also interesting to take notice of, Omar is on the medium tire, and Michi Hoyer, Stefanko and Lucas Schmidt behind him are all on the soft tire, so Omar is gonna have to watch out for them.
Yep, that they are. And as far as I know, there isn't any tyre rules, is there? The drivers are free to use whatever tyre compounds they like throughout the whole of the race.
Yeah, they are. And there is a mandatory pit stop here in the feature race, so they have to at least stop once. In the sprint race, there is no mandatory thing, but I believe here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are rolling here for the 5th round of the Winter Series. It's a very good start from Michi Hoyer. Martin Stefanko also tucks in alongside. Omar Rassol already starting to battle with Michi Hoyer once again now, but it seems that Michi Hoyer has taken that first position here around the first corner. A little bit of contact there in the back, I believe, but yeah, initial start of Michi Hoyer, very good.
So far, the contact further down the order has been minimal. There has been a bit of contact, but it's not absolute carnage that I've seen so far.
So, a couple of guys battling here. Looking for a dive up the inside there. Goes all fine through the first sector here. And yeah, very nice to see that everybody is fucking along.
Oh my days! Just as you were about to say something good there, Felix, I'm sorry, you might have to go and have a look at this. Martin Pankratov had a spin on the exit of the bridge, and then he just donutted it back around while there was cars still approaching.
Oy. That is never a good thing to have. Let's see if I can get a quick replay of that. Here we go, Martin Pankratov. The car here. A little bit of wheel spin already there. He spin it on the bridge here. Oh, he had contact with one of the Invictus cars, and then just doesn't care and straight on the racing line into the way of, I don't know who that is, but somebody, and yeah, really unfortunate to see there.
Yeah, and Stefanko has recently made a pass on Michael Ayres into the hairpin. You might want to have a quick look at that one. It was a nice little move, but with Stefanko being on the soft compound tyres like Hoyer, needs to make these tyres work for him right now.
Yeah, definitely. Take a quick look at that move from Martin Stefanko coming up to turn 10, I believe, or maybe even turn 12. Up the inside. Straightforward, but good move from Martin Stefanko on Michael Ayres.
All Tank Applegate's just had a bit of a coming together with another driver, and it's ended up with 3 cars, well, 2 cars in the barrier and 1 car parked up with nowhere to go. They're testing out the reverse gears there, and there's another car coming around the corner. I hope he managed to avoid that. Very tricky there.
With that, Kirill Budakov involved with that. Now driving without the front wing, and he's gonna have to take it back to the pit lane cleanly, but his race definitely not going how he would have wanted it.
Okay, Ivan Leonov and Jan Vesely having a bit of a battle down into the hairpin, and Jan getting ahead quite nicely, but even Leonov trying to have a look at a bit of a switchback on him, not able to do it. He's in a bit of a yellow car sandwich at the moment, so he's sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, definitely. Institution and Jan Vesely sandwiching the Bulgarian, and let's see how we can cope with that. It's a little peek up the inside here, but not able to make a move. Maybe Matthew Tucson is going to be able to do something. No, not really.
Okay, up at the front, the gaps are kind of stabilising at the moment. I will keep an eye on that. I have seen that we've got another driver out of the race, Harsha Varden. His car has only got 3 wheels on it, so that's not going anywhere at any kind of speed. But Jan Vesely is now under pressure by Ivan Leonov once again as they cross the start-finish line. Leonov having a look around the outside. That's going to get difficult up to turn 1 unless he switches to the inside, as he has done. But he needs to make sure he gets that brake in right. He's backed out of it. Quite a wise move there.
Yeah, back at the front. I mean, Nietzsche Hoyer is streaming away at the moment. 2.2 seconds already in front of Omar Razol. Martin Stefanko is starting to put pressure on Omar.
Yeah, he is over the last lap. He's closed that gap in quite nicely. And Lucas Schmidt also all over the back of Michael Ayres. But Stefanko's got a chance here.
Tushin just made the move on Ivan Leonov. And yeah, Leonov now dropping another place to a yellow car in front of him now. So let's see what Martin Stefanko can do. As I mentioned at the start, Martin Stefanko is on the soft tyre.
Yep, and he won't want to be stuck behind Rasol for very long. If he gets any opportunity, he may want to take it as quick as he can. And Rasol going defensive, and that could give Stefanko a good run on the exit if he doesn't hit the back of him, which he has done. And as they both get the power down, staying in the positions that they entered the corner in. But yeah, this may frustrate Stefanko a little bit, but at the same time, he knows it's only going to take 1 clean opportunity and he'll pass with ease.
He's going to try to get a better exit. He does so very nicely. Ducks into that slipstream. Coming to turn 1 now. Maybe going to try it around the outside. No, he doesn't have the speed for that. Maybe coming up to turn 2 around the outside. Is he going to try and make it stick? No, there's not really a lot of room there from Omar Rasol. A little bit of squeezing there, and Martin Stefanko had to back out of there quite aggressively to avoid hitting the wall.
Yeah, turn 1, or the first real corner, it's not the best of overtaking places because of how narrow the road becomes. And I tell you what, you mentioned earlier about Matthew Tucson. He's managed to get ahead of Ivan Leonov, and he's beginning to close in on Jan Vesely. That's for 10th place. Let's see, up at the front, or nearer the front, Michael Ayres still got Lucas Schmidt right behind him, and Schmidt on the soft compound tyres could do with getting a shift on because Ayres is on the mediums ahead of him.
Also worth mentioning at the moment, Danny van der Niet, I believe he started somewhere around 20th position or something, didn't have a good qualifying session at all, but is already up to the 13th position, starting to challenge Ivan Leonov and the 2 Invictus guys right in front of him.
Yep, Schmidt did manage to make that overtaking move, and Stefanko's dropped off the back of Rasol after them getting close into turn 1, but he is able to close the gap in once again.
Ooh, a little bit of contact between Schmidt and Michael. Luckily nobody spinning around there, but also Dylan Scrivens tucking behind the back of Michael, and Blair Disley right behind him as well.
Tucson just went for the move on Jan Vasily, but went very, very deep into the hairpin, locked it up, and now he's under pressure from Leonov.
A lot of battles going on here at the moment. A lot of battles that involve quite a lot of cars. So
Stefanko going for it again into turn 1. There's contact between the two cars, and he's had to back out of it again. It looked like potentially a little bit of a late move. If you weren't on board, you might want to have a quick flash of a replay on that. It looked like he went to try the other side of him on this occasion.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a replay of that.
While you're having a look for that replay, Stefanko's close again, but not close enough to attack. But these guys battling second and third place. So actually, Stefanko is close enough to attack around the outside into the hairpin. These guys have had contact twice already. But Stefanko still behind. Rasol defending quite nicely there. I was just about to say, these two battling is allowing the following pack of Schmidt, Ayres, Scrivens and Disley to close in on them.
There we go, let's see. Martin Stefanko around the outside, coming to the hairpin. A little bit of lockup, can he do the switch back? A little bit of wheel spin there, doesn't allow him to get the best exit. Also the mixture of the corners there don't really allow him to make a move on Omar so far. Now tucks into the slipstream once again. Coming through his last sector, braking is gotta be crucial here. Maybe get a better exit once again and try into turn 1. He's done so 2 times in 2 laps now. How is it going to be the 3rd lap? I believe Danny van der Niet just got past Matthew Tucson as well. Matthew dropped back behind Jan and Leonov as well, so something happened there. Let's see, Martin Stefanko. A little bit of a lock up there from Omar Rasol coming into turn 1. Oh, Martin Stefanko makes contact with the wall there.
Oh, Leonov, he's had a spin. This battle he was on about with Tucson, it's going to get worse as well. It's going to get much, much worse. That's a real wing gone. Oh, my days. Ivan Leonov had a big sideways moment on the exit of the final corner, and knock-on effect has ended Tucson's race.
I see a lot of messages in my control board. Let's see if I can get a quick replay of that. So keep it a little bit further back. So where did it all start? Somebody having not so good exit, then colliding wheels, and then really unfortunate what's happening there. I think that's Tucson without a rear wing, and also basically the worst possible place you can lose something or have damage at all, just after the pit entry. But I think that's race over for Matthew Tucson. Really unfortunate to see. Martin Stefanko, however, still pressuring Omar really hard. At the moment, Michi Hoyer is just going away into the distance and driving as quick as possible to make sure the gap between him and Martin Stefanko becomes as big as possible. Danny van der Niet also DNF'd, by the way. That's very unfortunate. I don't exactly know what happened there. Maybe he was also caught up into that accident. Here we go, Martin Stefanko. Again, good run down turn 1, turn 2. Now braking around the outside. Is he gonna try it again? Does he get the room this time? Yes, he does, kind of, but not enough speed to keep it in front of Omar Rasol. Very, very aggressive defending here from Omar. Of course, he has the right to do so.
As I said earlier, those corners, it's not easy. It's not the best of places to try and overtake, because no matter which way you go, you've got a tight corner.
Oh, that's a dive bomb! Oh. Martin Stefanko braking. Oh, I said way too late, but
he just got a phone call from air traffic control there saying let the other plane back through. He's still got a few missiles left and you don't want him behind you. But no, fair play to Stefanko there. He has let Rasol through, but yeah, I think he would have been having a few choice words as that car was going sideways. But in the background, though, Michael Ayres under pressure, being passed. Nice move, nice move.
Yeah, Dylan Scrivens, nice move there from the flag-to-flag driver. And Michael now needs to watch out for Blair Disley as well.
The car's now passing a back marker. This could get very interesting into the hairpin as Scrivens and Ayres get there. Thankfully, the back marker dealing with that quite well. Tricky situation. I'm sure he would have preferred to have gone all the way around the outside, but given a stream of cars coming at him, he's done the best thing that he could there.
Yes, exactly.
Tell you what though, Michael Ayres may have a good run on Dylan Scrivens into turn 1, but yeah, he's too far back to try and attack, as so is Stefanko. But I think he's going to have to look at somewhere else to attempt his overtake. Turn 1's not doing it for him.
Yeah, it's not helping him at the moment, and I imagine Martin getting a little bit frustrated behind his wheel now, because if he's looking at his lap time board or anything, he's seeing Michi Hoyer getting away further and further. Now the gap is already 8 seconds between him and Michi Hoyer. So yeah, it's gonna get more difficult for him to try and challenge for the win here. So maybe he's gonna have another shot of it in the next lap. However, we're gonna have to take into account also the tires. Martin Stefanko's tires might be wearing off a little bit now, already 8 laps into the race, and Omar's mediums might be getting only better and better at the moment. A little bit of a mistake there from Omar, not the best entry of a corner you could have had, but now Martin Stefanko gonna try and do something, coming to the first corner after the last turn here. Making really late once again, Martin Stefanko. Misses the apex there a little bit, Omar Rasol, so Martin again tucking into the slipstream. Really close this time. Decides to take a little bit of a different line. Is he gonna try it around the outside? No, maybe do the switchback. Omar being very defensive once again. Now coming up to turn 3, Martin taking a look, but it's not enough, and Omar once again defending really well at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Stefanko's doing what he needs to do now though. He's positioning his car to look at other places, to get the guy's attention off where he's driving and into his mirrors, and that's what he needs to do to get the guy ahead to make a mistake at a corner where he can benefit from it. I mean, looking at the tyres and the lap times, Michi Hoyer nice and consistent, hitting 144s. Stefanko's his lap times are being dictated by Rasol at the moment. This is a good opportunity around the outside again, though.
Back, maybe. No, not enough once again. But you can see Omar is also struggling, making kind of little mistakes, maybe because, as you said, he's looking in his rear view mirrors a lot, probably to try and make sure Martin Stefanko doesn't get past. But Martin is pressuring him like a madman. Both of them having a little bit of wheel spin there. Omar tapping the ball, I believe.
I mean, there is another way that Stefanko can look at this, and that is he could look at it a slightly more conservative way. He's going to be pitting earlier anyway. He's going to get an undercut, maximise that. Oh!
Very close call there. I believe that is, I don't know actually, a back marker.
It was a back marker. That's one time you do want to be on the blue stuff. Blair Disley, he's got a bit of a run on Michael Ayres, heading in towards turn 1. Is he going to chuck it up the inside? He's having a look. Yes, he does chuck it up the inside.
Up there,
sideways though. Ooh. I think the car behind him might collect him now. That's Dylan Scrivens getting busy. Thankfully avoiding the walls though.
What noticed my eye is that Blair Disley is running the super soft tire. Interesting choice there from Blair. Did he pit, or is this his first set? Yes, it is actually his first set, so his tires must be getting knackered at the moment.
Well, only he and Martin Pankratov are on the super soft tyre. I mean, we may see other drivers go to the super softs later on. But yeah, I mean, tyre strategy, it's an interesting one, because for Hoyer, tyre strategy is working wonders at the moment. For Rassol, it's working okay. He needs to try and keep the gap to a minimum to Hoyer, but it's up at 8 seconds. But can he fight that back when he's on faster tyres later? Maybe.
Somebody in the chat saying, oh, wow, that's a 0 stop. Well, unfortunately, that is not allowed here. You have to do at least 1 stop. I can remember from the last, I believe it was either the sprint race or the feature race from previous round. Omar had to pit for fuel, I believe. And therefore his race was ruined, because he really cannot add fuel in this car. And so, yeah, his race was then ruined whilst he was
Dylan Scrivens, sorry, Dylan Scrivens got no front wing. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but yeah, he's got no front wing. He's losing places, and this is not a track you want no front wing, because...
Let's see on the replay.
Go ahead.
He's attacking Vladisley around the outside. Did he make a little bit of a mistake on the exit there? Ooh, both guys getting tucked into each other. Maybe a little bit of lag between the two guys playing a part. Of course, Vladisley is all the way down under in Australia, so maybe a little bit of that playing a role there, but Dylan there spinning around into the wall, losing his front wing as well with that. So Martin Stefanko now seems to have backed off a little bit from Omar. Maybe, as you said, playing the strategy game now instead of the...
He wasn't. It'd be nice if it was strategic, but on the previous lap at the final corner, Omar got a little bit out of shape, and it put Stefanko a little bit out of shape, and that's what's created the gap. However, the gap between Omar and Hoyer has come down by 9/10 of a second. I'm wondering if Hoyer's tyres are gone, or going. Oh no, the gap's just gone back up to 8 seconds. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's his last lap was quite a bit quicker than Hoyer, 6/10. But in general, Mitchie has been...
Disley is being overtaken by a Georg Winter. And I tell you what, George, I'm going to call him George, it's just easy for him to say. George was very lucky there, because Disley was completely sideways in the braking zone.
Let's see if I can get a quick replay of that overtake from Georg Winter. Here we go, coming to turn 10, I believe. Is he gonna dive it up the inside? Oh yeah, Vladisley made a mistake on the brakes, and that allowed Winter to just squeeze past. And he's now taken that, I believe, 6th position.
Disley has also headed into the pits.
Right, so that's gonna put him a little bit further down the field. What noticed Mitchie Moyer must have made a mistake or something. Last lap 145.2, and Omar is starting to speed up a little bit, 143.9. So he almost gained 2 seconds in that last lap.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm wondering if Mitchie's tyres are going, or whether he did make a little bit of a mistake. But I mean, if you were going to go from the soft tyres to the mediums, I've got 16 laps left? You could pit now, surely, and take the mediums, 16 laps.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And I think, especially with that gap coming down now, I think if I was Hoyer, I would consider chucking it into the pits. But obviously, it depends on how long the pit stop is here. Oh, yeah, his tyres, he's struggling. Hoyer's just had a massive tank slapper. He managed to save it quite nicely. But yeah, that's just cost him half a second to a second. And into the pits he goes.
His tyres probably hit the dead spot. And I hear some
collisions.
Well,
Stefanko's headed into the pits, and he's just driven over someone's front wing as Hoyer's now leaving the pit. So it may have been Stefanko driving over that debris.
Yeah, of course there was a crash there earlier. But yeah, Stefanko coming out of the pit lane right now. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with Omar. Of course, Stefanko gonna have to make the best of his outlap. He doesn't have any traffic in front of him, so that's very nice for him. And if he has a good outlap now, he might be able to make the undercut work on Omar Rasol here.
Yeah, he definitely might be able to. Michi Hoyer's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him in the way of George Winter on soft compound tyres, but I don't think he's going to be on them for much longer.
Yeah, George has been on them from the start of the race. Let's take a look at the times from Omar. He is, I think, first sector is green for him, so maybe starting to push his tyres a little bit harder than he was. And let's see what he can do. See if he can make the overcut, make sure the undercut doesn't work from Martin Stefanko.
Kirill Burikov is on his way into the pits without a front wing, and I tell you what, considering how his qualifying session went, the race has gone absolutely the opposite way. Or should that be the same way, completely out of luck?
Yeah, I don't know. He's been involved with an accident at the early stages of the race as well, so maybe he had a mistake somewhere, hit the wall, but definitely it's not helping him. At the moment, I'm watching Michi Hoyer starting to put pressure on Georg Winter. Two Germans, so let's see how they fight it out here. Oh, Georg a little bit wide into the last corner. Michi taking the narrower line doesn't seem to really help him a lot. Lucas Schmidt is into the pit lane at the moment. And let's see what Michi can do. Coming into turn 1 or turn 2, or what you want to call it. Not really an opportunity for him there. Right, let's see. Lap time is Omar Rasol. Last lap was a 1:44.1. And Martin Stefanko, of course, with the pit stop of the 1:47.
Well, the gap between Hoyer and Stefanko, that's now down to, 4 seconds? So Hoyer is losing time now. Stefanko, I do think he'll get the jump on Omar. But it could get very interesting towards the end because of Hoyer being stuck behind Winter at the moment.
Yeah, if I were Omar, I would really consider getting into the pit lane this lap. I mean, the gap at the moment between him and Stefanko is 20 seconds. And most of the times, I'm not really entirely sure, but most of the times pit delta is about 20 seconds. So, yeah, I don't know. Last lap from Omar was reasonably okay, but Martin Stefanko is at the moment setting purple first sector, very quick second sector as well. And I think he's gonna be a second quicker than Omar as well this lap. And Omar stays out.
Hoyer's got half a decent run on Winter. Depends on how these corners go. Up the inside he goes into the final corner. And that's struggling on the traction. But George has decided to go for the blue bit. And there's no grip over there.
No, indeed. Seems that he got a little bit stuck on the curb there. And wheel spin off the track a little bit. Luckily, no real damage done there. And indeed, Martin Stefanko just set a purple last lap, 1:43.4. It's 5/10 quicker than Omar Rasol the last lap, so he is definitely starting to get closer, and maybe the undercut is gonna work here. It's all gonna be about these coming laps, and when is Omar gonna pit?
That's a good question. Stefanko's lap was 2 seconds quicker than Hoyer's, but obviously Hoyer had the traffic, and Stefanko, he's closing, he's nearly on the back of Winter already, so yeah, I think when Omar pits, we could be on for a three-way battle for the lead because Omar will be on the quicker tyre. However, we saw how earlier on a driver on the faster tyre wasn't able to benefit.
See Schmidt and Reed battling it out at the moment. Really close racing between the two guys. Schmidt, of course.
I've just noticed as well, Omar has got his right front end plate missing. I don't know if that's
it's last sector,
recently.
Last second sector was 4 seconds slower. He has made a mistake somewhere. Let's see if I can get a replay of that. If there is a replay of that. He goes into the pit lane. Yeah, he's been spun around. Let's see what happened. Coming out of the second sector. Oh, there was somebody spun around there. He didn't hit him. But what happened then? Oh, on the exit there and hits the wall. not very hard, but he loses his wing end plate there and definitely loses a lot of time. And this, yeah, well, says it all. Here we go. Martin Stefanko gets past Omar Russell, Mitsuhori as well. And yeah, there you go. Omar making a mistake also. Watch out on the pit exit line there. Strictly legally speaking, I believe you have to keep within the lines.
He didn't change his wing either in the pit stop.
No, he didn't. So, yeah, he's gonna struggle, I think. He's got a 2-3 second gap to Martin Stefanko, and Omar has got wing damage now. So, still about what is it? 8 laps remaining in this race. No more, 12. No.
12 laps, yeah.
Yeah.
It's you with the dodgy mathematics. It's been a while. It's usually me. I've been told as well that end plates may not have that much of an effect in these cars, so it may not affect Omar that much. And I tell you what, he's already closing in on the back of Martin Stefanko. Is he, or is it a back marker he's catching? It's a back marker he's catching, yeah. And they get out of the way quite nicely. Having said that, Reed and Disley, they're still battling it out, and they're not too far behind Lucas Schmidt, are they? Well, 3 seconds behind. Yeah, not much going on between 5th and 6th, but 6th and 7th may change around a little later. See, George, he's gone onto the super soft tyre. He has made a pit stop recently. Let's see, so yeah, the closest battle does like it is the one up at the front.
Yep. Gonna be interesting to see if Martin Stefanko is gonna be able to challenge Mr. Hoyer. Of course, both driving for ACR, but I don't think they really care a lot about that here in the Winter Series.
Okay, so what have we got then? Hoyer leading the way, just under 3.5 seconds ahead of Stefanko. Omar 6.2 seconds off the lead. I tell you what though, looking at my screen, it looks like Omar's gone for another set of medium tyres.
Yeah, I do think so as well. So he's not going to have the advantage of quicker tyres as well. So I am very, well, I don't know. I'm doubtful if he will be able to catch up to the leaders now.
Yeah, I think he'll struggle. I'm surprised that he's gone for the same compound of tyre. I think personally, myself, I would have gone with the softer one and gambled it and absolutely gone for it.
At the moment, Jacob Reed is also starting to challenge Dylan's Rivens.
We've got a car on track with no front wing, no rear wing.
Who's that? I don't know, but I do know is Jacob Reed.
It's Pankratov.
Jacob Reed is gonna challenge Dylan Scrivens. Coming into here. A little bit tight squeezing, but he's gotten past. Great move there from Jacob Reed.
There's a car in the barrier. So, sorry, Felix, carry on.
No worries. Move is done. What happened?
Tank Applegate. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he now also has no front wing, no rear wing, and he is not too far behind Pankratov, who has no front wing, no rear wing. Pankratov gets to the pits, but by the time that car's repaired, this race will probably be over.
Yeah, rear wing repairs does take a long time, but well, maybe just for the sake of it, they want to finish the race. Of course, if they both cop to the pit lane safely and they want to finish the race, sure, go ahead and do so.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people, I mean, they would say, yeah, you lose your front wing, your rear wing, yeah, escape, and it's probably the most sensible thing you can do. But I don't know, I mean, for me personally, it's one of those things where if you're determined to get it back to the pits and you can do so with having zero effect on anybody, then it's up to you to do that. You have any impact on anybody's race and you're in for getting a mouthful, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Then almost always the blame is always going to be on you.
I mean, for some people, I mean, one of the reasons I say that is, I mean, sometimes there might be a race where there's a big crash and a lot of people don't finish, and if you happen to be able to repair your wing, you may score points, and it could be that important for you or your team to do it. But like I said, I mean, you have any kind of effect on somebody's race, then yeah, you definitely shouldn't do it. At the end of the day, respect can be earned more by hitting the escape button than it can by winning a race by 40 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. Arthur Stefanko is starting to push a little bit harder. Just put in a purple lap time. 1:42. I believe it's the first 1:42 of the race here. Yes, indeed it is. So he's closing into Mitchie Hoyer. Not by a really fast pace, but it's getting closer and closer. And with only a couple of laps remaining, well, 9 laps, it's starting to...
I like the Dutch definition of a couple.
Wow. Dutch always is a bit strange.
Well, I know what it means if you say you've got a couple of women on the go.
But let's get back to the action.
Yeah, I was going to say, trust me to lower the tone and ignore what's happening on track. Come on, Felix, tell us what's happening.
At the moment, I think the gaps are getting a little bit bigger. At the moment, Jan Vesely and Ivan Leonov are really close to each other. This battle has gone on in the start of the race as well, I believe. Also, Tucson involved with that. Unfortunately, that ended in a crash at the last corner. Let's see what they can do now.
Well, watching these guys, it could end in drama, it could end in fantastic driving, or it could end up with the car seeing how flexible the mesh barriers are around this track. Jan looks like he's safe at the moment though. It depends on how aggressive Leonov decides to be on his brakes. He is on a softer compounder tyre and he is going for the move up the inside. And to be fair, Vasily did well to give him space there. I mean, it could have been said that with Leonov coming from as far back as he did, it would have been easy for him to just go for the apex, but Leonov got a good run on him again.
Yeah, here we go. Maybe the inside or outside, I mean, here at the hairpin. We're gonna make it stick. Action is gonna be crucial. Curbs can be a little bit slippy. Ooh, they make a little bit of contact. Luckily, he keeps together there. Ivan Leonov hasn't been able to get past so far. Maybe here into the last corner. No.
I'll tell you what though, Josh Radford, he's beginning to close in on this battle. And the car behind Leonov is a back marker who's on super soft tyres and is looking like he wants to get past here. I think that's Pankratov. But to be honest, the best thing Pankratov could probably do at this point is just pull out of the way, let these three guys battle it out and give yourself a bit of space and set some quick lap times.
Yes, exactly. Leonov now diving up the inside here, just before the bridge section. Is he gonna be able to make it stick? No, he is not, at least not so far. No, he has not been able to make it stick, and very, very nice defending here from Jan Vesely. Once again, Leonov with a good exit. Now another guy also starting to... Oh, is that a back marker? Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that's Pankratov, the car right behind him. That's Pankratov, the back marker.
Oh, both of them cutting the corner a little bit too much there. Pankratov and Leonov, but Pankratov needs to watch out. I mean, if he gets past cleanly, sure, but then he also needs to get out of the way of the guys and make sure he doesn't get into their ways. But he's looking to be quite aggressive. Leonov tries it around the outside once again, but not able to do anything.
I've just seen one of the weirdest overtakes I've probably ever seen between Jacob Reed and Dylan Scrivens. It was Reed getting past Scrivens, but I don't think he was expecting it, and Scrivens is trying to fight back now in towards turn 1.
On the inside, sorry the undercut you there, and he seems to have gotten past. Maybe Jan tucking into the slipstream now and trying something into turn 1. But is Leonov gonna go defensive? Oh, somebody goes really wide there. It's Pankratov, I believe. Almost thought he was going into the wall. But it seems that Leonov has got the pass done and dusted. So what were you saying, Dave? Sorry.
So yeah, a battle between Jakob Reed and Dylan Scrivens. Jakob had a massive tank slapper, almost lost complete control. But fortunately for him, Dylan ahead of him had a poor exit of the corner, and so it resulted in an overtake. But then, as they both got the power down, I've just seen that there was a collision between Leonov and Vasily, and that nearly took out Pankratov as well.
Oh dear. Let's see if I can get a replay of that. I was just trying to watch the replay of the overtake. Let's see, Jan at the bridge section here was already looking quite aggressive. Brakes way too late. Oh, and Pankratov, well, maybe not way too late, but he brakes. And Pankratov just hits him in the rear and spins him around. That is unfortunate to see. Pankratov, of course, as I said earlier, is a backmarker, so doesn't really have to ride to battle these guys very hard, and it seems that Jan has some suspension damage now as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, with the back marker, the best thing he could have done is just backed off and let these guys go, give himself some clear room, and you got the fast tyres on. Go and see what lap times you can do, rather than trying to overtake, really. But that's the way it's gone for him. Unfortunate for Jan there. Yes, it was Jan, wasn't it?
Yep.
I tell you what, Kirill Burakov, he's beginning to catch up Callum Wilson. That's for 12th and 13th place. And let's see what else we've got. Not much other battles further down the order. Hoyer, Stefanko, that gap's been staying the same. Omar, he's been pushing really, really hard to try and close the gap in, but not really gaining anything. I don't think he's going to be able to do much more than finish third now. Lucas Schmidt, he's all on his own pretty much. Disley's got a bit of fresh air, but Georg Winter is behind him on the super soft tyres. That's a gap that may come down a little bit.
Omar just set a purple lap time, by the way.
Well, I did say he was pushing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, he's pulled the gap in by about 0.8 of a second. So yeah, he's giving it everything he's got, and let's just hope the wall doesn't decide to do the same.
Yeah, of course, he's got only about 5-6 laps remaining now to catch up to the guys. And, well, as I say quite often in the streams, catching up to the guy is one thing, but getting past is a completely other thing. And as we've seen, it's not easy on this track at all to get past. And I don't think Martin Stefanko or Michi Hoyer is going to make it easy for him.
No, definitely not. Just looking, there's a comment on YouTube, which I might get a bit of grief for mentioning, but someone saying only 4 good drivers in this league. Well, the thing is, the Winter Series is something completely separate to the World Championship, the Ace and the Pro divisions. Not all WC Ace and Pro drivers will take part in this event. They've got other things that they might be doing. So for the Winter Series, though, it's a great place for new drivers to come along and give this mod a go. And have a look at doing the AMA, see how they compare against some of the main drivers that are in the events. And for the main league drivers, it's somewhere to have a little bit of fun, a bit of competition, and hopefully not too many crashes.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Stefanko and Hoyer, all of a sudden, there's only half a second between them.
Oh, Hoyer must have made a mistake in somewhere then. Oh, well, last lap Hoyer 1:44.7, last lap Stefanko 1:43.2, 1.5 seconds quicker. The yellow flag at sector 1, you could see the flashing lights there, but indeed Martin Stefanko starting to really put some pressure on Michi Hoyer now. This is gonna be something interesting here in the last couple of laps. Back marker tank up again, getting out of the way there. Martin Stefanko drifting the car around turn, turn 5-6.
Well, let's see, obviously since we spotted that gap came down, it's opened up again. It's already over 1 second, so whatever it was that caught Hoyer out, he needs to compose himself again.
Yeah, the drift of Martin really didn't help him. But, let's see what's gonna happen. Of course, Omar is also still in the equation. Last lap of Omar, not the best, but generally closing in bit by bit. But I don't think it's gonna be enough for him to make up 3 seconds.
Well, he can see the 2 cars ahead. You know what? That gap's coming down quick. It's teetering on nearly just under 3 seconds. So if Stefanko and Hoyer do begin to battle, Omar could find himself in on that fight.
Yeah, definitely.
This battle for the lead, though, it's an interesting one because I think there's some personal attachments to this. Hoyer, last season's ace champion, will not want to get beaten by anybody, let alone somebody else in his team, and teammate, I believe, for next season.
Yep.
So a bit of pride on the line between these guys. Well, pride and bragging rights. Who has the lower number on their car for next season?
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be up to the team boss of ACR, Mr. El Presidente. But I think for now these guys don't really give a toss that they are teammates of each other. They're just gonna battle it out as hard as possible.
That they are. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Stefanko gets on behind Hoyer, because obviously we saw him behind Omar earlier on a softer compound of time and couldn't get past.
Omar has made a mistake somewhere. Gap has gone down to 7 seconds. What has happened to him? Spun around. He made a mistake once again. Let's see what he did. Coming to the hairpin. Ooh, locked his brakes. Oh no, that's not hairpin. It's the bridge section. And yeah, a little bit of oversteer. And spun the car around. Once again, small mistakes. Catching Omar out. And well, maybe his inexperience showing a little bit. He's quick, but you have to be consistent. You have to keep those laps clean.
Stefanko's really close now. May have a run at turn 1. You're absolutely right with what you say, though. I mean, it's one thing being quick, but if you make mistakes, it's not going to benefit you, is it? Unfortunately for Omar, that's what's happened there. As Hoyer again a little bit sideways, that could give Stefanko a bit of a run. But I think Hoyer is going to defend this as hard as he can.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he is.
Been told as well that ACR's team numbers have already been decided, and Christopher Cobb has the lowest one. Okay, he didn't say that bit. I made that bit up. But I think if I was him, I would have done that.
Well, let's see how these guys will cope. Maybe a suggestion for El Presidente. The guy that finishes in front here gets the lower number. Here we go. Martin Stefanko coming up to the chicane. Looking around the outside, Michihara taking the defensive line and does so very well. And keeps Martin Stefanko behind for now.
Yep, and I tell you what, I mean, being in the commentary box with you, Felix, it's fully understandable why at Valencia they decided, I believe, to paint the walls different colours for each sector, because the track looks so similar at a glance with the blue walls everywhere. Yeah. Which is why it's like, okay, is that turn 6 or is that turn 12? It gets so confusing with some of the camera angles that we do get.
Yeah, definitely. But we managed. Michihara looking up there a little bit for the last sector. Not too bad, but it's not helping him or his tires any way further. But only 2 laps remaining in this race now. And the Martin is gonna be giving everything. It's all or nothing.
George Winter, I was just looking that George Winter had managed to get ahead of Blair Disley, but he's just had a massive crash. He's lost his front wing, he's down to 6th place, but yeah, into the pits he'll go. Yeah, he does. That was a big spin.
Let's see on the replay at the moment. Coming to the... he went on the curb and seemed that the car just lifted up on the curb or something. Maybe bottoming out on the curb and just sped right into the wall. Very hard hit for George Winter, and surely, yeah, his race is either gonna be over or, yeah, properly ruined.
Yeah, it's definitely been ruined.
There's also something happening further down the field. P11, P14, Jan Vesely, and somebody spun around as well. Don't know exactly what's happening there, but I'm gonna switch back to the front because Martin Stefanko is once again very close to Michi Hoyer.
Yeah, I think the leaders actually went past one of the cars that was involved in that spin you were just mentioning, because they have got Jan Vesely just ahead of them on the track. Stefanko, he is close and he's pushing hard, but to be fair, Hoyer is driving quite nicely at the moment to keep him behind him, and it's exactly what he needs to do.
So, last lap is gonna start right now, and I think, well, Martin Stefanko, of course, he's not gonna dive bomb somewhere all or nothing, but he's gonna give everything in his power to try and get past Michi Hoyer in a clean way, of course.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out of what Vasely's going to do here, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. Nicely out of the way, no effect on the leaders, let them fight it out.
Definitely. So, Stefanko, again close, but is it close enough? Taking a little bit of a peek, showing himself in the mirrors of Michi Hoyer. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit there, not helping him. Again, maybe he can tuck in the slipstream here. Also, Dylan Scrivens and Georg Winter are battling, I believe. At least they're pretty close to each other. Maybe Georg already got past a lap ago.
I'll keep an eye on that. You keep an eye on the leaders.
Yep, I will definitely. Martin Stefanko again close. A little bit of a tank slapper there. But really good exit there from Michi Hoyer. And doesn't really allow Martin Stefanko to tuck into the slipstream this time. And the gap may be a little bit too big now for Martin Stefanko to try and get past. It's only a couple of corners now until the finish line for Michi Hoyer. Only about 3 corners remaining and only one real corner. Braking late. Martin is gonna make a look. Michi Hoyer, a little bit of contact there between the two guys, but it is gonna be Michi Hoyer that takes the win here for the feature race of round 5 here at the Valencia Street Circuit.
George Winter may be able to have an attack now. Yes, he has. Scrivens made a mistake at turn 3, and they've been nearly side by side or battling a bit for most of the lap. Winter round the outside. He's got the inside line for the left-hander. Nice move. But is Scrivens going to go for a switch back? He's trying it, but now he's on the outside. May get a better run, but George is on the softest tyre, and he's managed to make the move. Sorry to cut you off there, Felix, but that was getting a little bit interesting, that was.
Yeah, definitely. No problem. I think Dylan is not done with it yet. George makes a mistake. He brakes too late and goes wide there and allows Dylan to get past again. But to get back to the finishing order, Stefanko, of course, in second place. Third for Omar and fourth for Lucas Schmidt. Good finish for him. Berdisley in fifth. Also Michael Evers. Very good to finish in sixth position. Jacob Reed coming home in seventh. And who's it going to be for eighth? It's just going to be Dylan Scrivens coming over the line. Georg Winter taking ninth position. I think he's going to be a little bit mad to himself. Ivan Leonov taking home 10th position. He is going to be the one starting from pole position in the sprint race. And it is going to be Josh Radford.
I think I've just cut my head by putting me with a bit of a face palm when I heard you say that. I don't mean any disrespect by that, but Leonov there was a lot of action going around him during this race with him starting on pole. It could get frantic.
Yes, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen there. Of course, Leonov, maybe not the quickest driver here, but let's see what he can do.
Yep, just to let you know as well, Kirill Birokov, a race he may want to forget. However, he did have the fastest lap with a 1:42.336.
Yeah, so in the end, he has got something to brag about now, but definitely, as you said, not a race he might want to remember all too long.
Okay, Felix, I asked you earlier on. I gave you a quick question. If anyone's viewing and wants to have a guess at the answer, I've just seen a replay of somebody on their roof. Yeah, if you want watching and you want to have a guess at the answer of this one, go for it. I asked Felix earlier, who was the first the first race at Valencia? Who was the first to not finish? And I'm trying to think. You said it was Webber, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I'm guessing you were thinking about for when he hit the back of someone and did a little bit of a flip.
A little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I can tell you, it wasn't Webber. It wasn't Webber.
Oh, darn. Jeez, yeah, well, I don't know.
I'll give the viewers a moment to see if they want to have a guess of that one, and then I'll put everybody out their misery. But I mean, it's interesting you mentioned about Mark Webber. I mean, history of drivers ending up flying through the air. He had it on a few occasions.
Yeah, he he did it with VSC as well, or WEC, WEC, how you want to call it. But he's a flying Aussie.
That he is. That he is.
But I believe it is time to just take a little bit of a break. Drivers are also gonna take a little bit of a break, getting ready for the sprint race. We are gonna be back in about probably 5 to 10 minutes time to start the sprint race. Or do you want to wait till the guys get their answers in for your question?
No, it's right. We can take a quick break now, and they can use up that time to get their answers in. But no cheating, folks. Google's a newish invention. You don't have to use it.
Right. So think very carefully about your answers. And somebody saying, Felix, please don't forget to switch to the race this time. I will try to not forget that. And yeah, well, we will be back in a couple of minutes time. And until then, take care and take a good think about your answers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for the sprint race here. The formation lap is already on the way. We're a little bit late, but nevertheless, we are about to start this race. Dave, could you quickly run us through the top 10 here?
Yep, no problem. We have Ivan Leonov sitting in pole position on a set of soft compound tyres. Georg Winter, also soft tyres, in second place. In third, we've got Dylan Scrivens, same tyres. And in fourth place, he follows suit with the tyres, that's Jakob Reed. Fifth place, we have Michael Ayres. Sixth place, Blair Disley. Seventh is Lucas Schmidt, all on the same soft compound tyre. In eighth place, we have Omar Rassol. Ninth, Martin Stefanko, who's gone for the medium compound tyre. And in 10th, Michi Hoyer, also medium compound tyre. I'll keep going for the rest of the grid until you cut me off, Felix. In 11th, we've got Josh Rashford. 12th, Jan Vasily. 13th, Callum Wilson. 14th, Kirill Birukov. 15th, Todor Vasilev. Karol Basko in 16th. Thomas in 17th. 18th is Gabriel Martin Alvarado. 19th, Tank Applegate. 20th, Martin Pankratov. That's the top 20 for what is going to be one manic sprint race of 14 laps around this Valencia circuit. And quickly to answer the question I put out earlier of who was the first to not finish the first ever race at Valencia, the answer was Fernando Alonso with 0 laps completed.
Wow, that's did he spin in the first lap?
Yeah, it was a terminal damage crash in the first lap, unfortunately.
I think I remember that. But anyway, Ivan Leonov is lining up in his grid slot. Let's see if I can get a nice shot of this start formation of these guys lining up here. A lot of cars, once again, about 20, how much is it? A lot. 20 a lot.
26, we have Luke Maguire at the back of the grid.
Yeah, Luke Maguire also joined in, but let's see how we go. Cars getting ready. Are the lights coming on? Or is there somebody missing here? Is it me or... Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 lights. We are racing for the sprint race. It is a good start for Leonov. A little bit of a bad start for Dylan Scrivens. So it seems Jakob Reed already trying to challenge him in Ivan Leonov into turn 1. George Winter also involved 3 wide into turn 1. That's gonna end up not very well. It does, however, end up good. Luckily, oh, further in the back there's something happening.
Big crash. 2 cars on their roof.
At the moment it is Jakob Reed in the lead and Ivan Leonov already dropping 2 places. He's gonna drop more. Michael Ayres is gonna challenge him coming into turn 5. Here we go, already past. Right behind that it is Lucas Schmidt also looking to get a pass around. Dylan Scrivens at the moment in second position. A little bit of contact there between Georg Winter and Michael Ayres. Luckily no real damage. Let's see a little bit further down.
Omar Rassol was one of the cars that was in the big collision earlier on. George Winter in third place under a lot of pressure.
Michi Hoyer is driving without a front wing as well. So the winner of our last race now having big problems here in this sprint race. Not looking good for Michi Hoyer at the moment.
And so Michael Ayres, he had a fantastic start to this race, getting himself up into third place. And there was a little bit of contact, but it just resulted in bigger crashes as that went on. As Lucas Schmidt is now under pressure as well in 6th place from Martin Stefanko. He's taken that 6th place. Hoyer, as you said, yeah, he's got no front wing. He's down in 9th for the moment. And behind him, there's a big crash again. And that's 2 cars parked at the hairpin. Let's hope that doesn't collect anybody else. Let's see, that was Danny van der Neet and Gabriel Alvarado, I believe.
And Neet again involved in an early crash. It seems that he hasn't got as much damage. A little bit of wing end plate missing, but not too bad. Let's get back to the front because it's really heating up there. Lucas Schmidt. And who's that? That is Martin Stefanko. Got past Ivan Leonov. Leonov does the dive into turn 1 and gets back past Martin Stefanko. Good job from him there. Martin now also needs to watch out for Lucas Schmidt. He's starting to put pressure on him as well. A lot of guys coming into the pit lane now. Got 5-6 cars. The race always is a little bit more hectic than the feature race. At the moment it is not too bad. Dylan Scrivens, however, is starting to put pressure on Jacob Reed. Doing a good job in doing so, because he's got quite a big gap as well to the guys behind him. Here we go, Scrivens around the outside, coming through the chicane here. Does he make it past? Yes, he does. Wow, great move there from Dylan Scrivens. However, Jacob is not giving up, taking a little bit of a peek there. Yes, I think it's moved on there by Dylan Scrivens. Great job.
I'm just keeping an eye on Lucas Schmidt at the moment, who's right behind Stefanko, and Stefanko's struggling with Ivanov's great straight line speed. He is helping Leonov stay ahead. He's also on a softer tyre, but perhaps a little messy around some of the corners.
Yeah, a very, very hectic start here of the sprint race. And a very interesting start as well. A lot of guys mixing up. Leonov dropping down a little bit. Martin Stefanko now starting to pressure Leonov really a little bit more. Let's see what he can do. Dylan Scrivens just put in the fastest lap. Great lap from him. And already pulling out ahead of Jacob Reed a little bit.
Stefanko having a look up the inside of Leonov. But Leonov taking so much corner there. He was nearly on a different racetrack. Now, as far as the standings go in the Winter Series, I mean, for Stefanko, he already gained a few extra points over Blair Disley, and Disley was involved in the collisions earlier on. He's just had to make it a pit stop as well. So he's down in 24th place, which will be no points for him, which means that Stefanko is potentially going to open up his lead even more in the standings. I'll tell you what, though, Michael Ayres, he's pressuring Jacob Reed into...
Stefanko as well. Around the outside there, two battles almost in one shot. Stefanko has gotten past. How about Michael?
They're still side by side onto the next bend away, and Jacobs managed to just stay ahead. Oh, so close to clipping the back of him. Now, I know in the feature race earlier I called him Jakob. This time I'm going to call him Jacob, just in case I got it wrong earlier, and I'll get it right this time.
That's the good spirit then. Here goes Michael. Seems that he's gotten past well now, but I don't think Jacob is gonna give up so easily. Coming through the twisty last sector, braking. A lot of tyre smoke there from the tyres of Dylan Scrivens, and a reasonably good exit from him. Jacob maybe trying something into turn one. Doesn't seem like it. Ooh, he's taking a peek, but it's not enough, and Dylan stays in front for now, leading the sprint race. Or it's Michael, sorry, taking the second position for now, and Dylan Scrivens in the meantime is pulling away from the pack, already almost 2 seconds ahead of Michael Ayres.
That he is. Let's see, Stefanko to 5th. He's pulling away from Leonov. Leonov's got Schmidt right behind him, who's looking to get past him as quick as he can. And I'm going to have a quick look down the order, see if there's another battle. There is Tucson and Callum Wilson. They're side by side, battling over 11th place. Oh, a little bit of contact, but both managing to survive as Tucson makes the move. Danny van den Eek catching them up as well. A little further down, we've got Michi Hoyer, 15th place. He's just overtaken Martin Pankratov, but we saw Pankratov getting feisty in the feature race earlier, and he's on the super soft tyres again. And let's see, I think that's about it for battles further down. Todor Vasilev, big spin for him, and I don't think he's going to be getting much further up the road in this race.
Yes, I don't think so. Martin Stefanko now already locking his sights on his next target, Georg Winter. Martin is very eager to get the win here in the sprint race. Of course, it's not a long race at all. These sprint races fly by before you know they even started.
Winter went deep at the final corner. Yep. Stefanko's alongside. Stefanko's just about ahead. But Winter usually has good top line speed as Stefanko's turned in on him. Hopefully, just a brake marker board that's going to get damaged there. No other damage for Winter, but he's going to have to be careful how he rejoins. No, he's going to retire.
Let's see the replay from a little bit of a different perspective. kind of helicopter view. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's just a little tap that just unsettled Georg Winter's car. Maybe a little bit too much squeezing from Stefanko, or a little bit too much optimism from Georg Winter. I don't really know. I'm not the one to judge about that as well. The only thing I know is that Georg has spun around and is now in 14th position as DNF. So in front there you can see Jacob Reed and Michael are still battling it out for that second place. And actually they're getting a little bit closer to Dylan Scrivens in the meantime. Michael defending really hard though. That was really close there, Jacob Reed. Almost touching the back of Michael Ehlers there. Now coming through the hairpin. Maybe Jacob can get a better exit. No, not really. So Michael stays in front for now.
Ivan Leonov just on a bit of a drift around one of the hairpins. He had a little bit of a gap between himself and Lucas Schmidt, but they got very, very close on the exit of the corner, but Leonov managed to stay ahead. I don't know if that's because Schmidt was avoiding him or not, but yeah, very, very scary moment for both drivers there.
Yes, definitely. Lucas Schmidt now maybe starting to...
Sorry, Reed's having a look at the inside of... a little bit of contact between himself and Ayres in turn 1, and that's allowed Stefanko to get right onto the back of this pair. Sorry to cut you off there, Felix, but I thought it was going to be a move for position then.
No problem. I think this is indeed the battle to watch. I mean, Martin Stefanko also getting in here to try and challenge them. And Scrivens is not out of reach of Stefanko or as well. So if he gets past these two guys, the win is definitely possible for Martin Stefanko.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's definitely on the cards. But we did see that earlier on it was difficult to overtake. But here we go then. Reed and Ayres side by side again. And a bit of contact between them. And Ayres going straight on after contact with a barrier. I was going to say it won't be easy for Stefanko to overtake, but that would have made it a little bit easier to get past one of them.
Yeah, indeed. A little of contact there, maybe unfortunate for Michael. Let's see what he can do. He seems to have a really good top speed here. And challenging Martin Stefanko. Stefanko's trying it around the outside of Jacob Reed. Needs to watch out for Michael there. Almost 3 wide through the exit of that corner there. A little bit of debris getting in the way of Martin Stefanko. Luckily he doesn't spin his car around or anything. Jacob trying to make a look around the outside, around this very tight, twisty third sector. It seems that Stefanko has the position, however. I don't know. Here we go. Michael and Jacob still battling it out. Here we go. Jacob throwing it up the inside of Michael there. But he doesn't have a good exit. Just to watch out a little bit for the Stefanko there. And they are really
it's a back marker.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a back marker right ahead of him. It's Pankratov, I think. I could be wrong. So he gets out of the way quite nicely.
Yes. Oh, contact!
He got out of the way quite nicely. But unfortunately, I think Reed just went straight into the back of sorry, not Leonov. Yeah, Ayres.
Let's see if I can get a replay of that. That looked, I don't know, strange. Michael also DNF'd instantly. Probably escaped immediately. Let's see what happened. Let's see if I can get a slow motion from the cockpit of Reed. Yeah, just braked too late and into the back of Michael. Not anything Michael could have done there.
Ivanov and Schmidt are battling hard for third place. They're side by side at the moment. They just had to navigate their way around a back marker. They're still side by side. And this is Schmidt trying to overtake Leonov. And Leonov sideways drifting again. That's what he did earlier, but this time Schmidt was ready for it and tucked up the inside nicely.
Yep, great move there from Lucas Schmidt. And Martin Stefanko has already caught up to Dylan Scrivens. This is going to be for the lead. Martin Stefanko coming up to turn 1.
Scrivens must have made a mistake somewhere for that 4-second gap to come down that quick.
Here we go. Martin Stefanko into turn 1. Dylan braking quite early and maybe trying some cutback. No, not really. So Martin Stefanko back in the lead here in the sprint race. If he keeps it here, he's gonna win it. Schmid a little bit struggling on his tires, it seems, but we're already halfway through the race.
That we are. Okay, quite a bit of the field getting spread out. Schmidt and Leonov still close together. Vasily and Basco, not a big gap between those two. The rest of the field are quite spread out until you get down to Pankratov and Radford. And I tell you what, they are really close to Pankratov and Radford. Taking very different lines to the final corner as well. Radford making the move by the looks of it. Yep, side by side heading up towards turn 1. Although, Pankratov fighting back.
Yeah, he's got a good top speed. Manages to stay in front. Brakes a little bit late, or goes a little bit wide there. A little bit of wheel banging through the
Felix Alvin Leonov, something's happened to him and Lucas Schmidt. Schmidt's managed to survive it, but Leonov had just went on board and he was completely the wrong way, with covered in a cloud of smoke. And while that's happening, Vasily
spins into the wall again. No rear wing at the moment. Oh, watch out! That was really close.
Okay, Basco and Vesely, they're still battling. They've just had to avoid Leonov, as I'm guessing that's what you just had a bit of a horror moment seeing. But yeah, a lot of action for Leonov on this particular lap.
Let's see what the first incident was with Leonov and... what was it?
Vesely's lost it, turn 1 into the barrier.
Oh dear. Oh. Really ending up in tears at the moment. Let's see if I can get back to Jan Vesely. Yeah, indeed, no front wing. He was in 5th position, doing well so far. Watch out there. Also see that Kirill has been disqualified. Don't know what happened there. But this race is really interesting at the moment. Alan Wilson at the moment also starting to battle a little bit with Michi Hoyer. I guess Michi already got past. Michi now also taking a look on Jan Vesely. There's a back marker between him and Jan. That's out of the way nicely there. Also Brad Hutchinson had an incident somewhere. Don't know what happened. But let's see, Jan should let him past here. So Michi Hoyer back up into 5th position after his unfortunate incident at the start of the race. Now back in the top 5. A big gap though between him and Karol Basco.
I was trying to have a look to see what had happened to Kirill, but unfortunately I'm not able to find out what happened to him. But I mean, what do you have to do to get disqualified? I'm guessing the answer is, we don't know. Oh, we've got a car parked on the apex of the final corner. Is that Pankratov?
Is it? No, he's still
no. I think it was Brad Hutchinson. Maybe he was thinking, I'll park it up here because I want to get to the pits and just let everybody past. But yeah, interesting. Cars stationary on a racetrack, never a good thing.
Yeah. Luke Maguire at the moment, quite close with his teammate Matthew Tewson, making a little bit of a braking mistake there coming to the last corner. At the moment, Martin Stefanko is just well flying away, almost a second a lap quicker than Dylan Scrivens.
Yep, and he'll probably continue to do that. Vesely's just coming out of the pits, and guess who he's got right next to him? Yep, it's Leonov, who's right behind him, should I say. So expect that to get a little bit interesting later on. And you mentioned him a few moments ago, Luke Maguire. He is right behind that battle as well, with Matt Tucson right behind him. So 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, not much between those guys. However, the leading or the top 10 cars all a little bit spread out at the moment.
Putting a little bit of pressure there on the yellow cars from Jan Vesely. Luke McGuire, what the car choosing Luke McGuire into the wall. And whoa, it's flying around and missing a wheel at the moment. Please escape, you're in the middle of the road. Yes, he does so nicely. So yeah, that's the end of the race for Luke McGuire. Unfortunate to see for him. A lot of DNFs, unfortunately, here in the sprint race. Only a couple of laps remaining, though. And Martin Stavenko looks to be, well, easy on the win here. Let's knock that off on wood. You never know what happens in the sprint race series here. Dylan Scribbins now getting, well, caught up by Lucas Schmidt. And Schmidt probably gonna give it a go for second position here.
Okay, my attention was averted elsewhere while I was just checking some of the YouTube comments. So what have we got, Felix? Dylan Scrivens and Lucas Schmidt look like they're very, very close together. They are. They're really, really close together. Now, I'm not sure if that's Scrivens having lost time, making a mistake somewhere, or whether Schmidt is just absolutely on it right now. But he is gaining and applying pressure. And Schmidt was lucky earlier on to avoid a major collision with Leonov, I think it was. So battling now for second place, having a look at the inside into turn one, not able to do it. We're trying to get the driver's attention into his mirrors, as we said in the feature race earlier. That's a good way of getting the guy ahead to make a mistake, and it only does take a tiny mistake to give you that opportunity to pounce, and that's exactly what Schmidt wants to do. He's really, really close, but the nature of this track, it's not easy to overtake in many places, but he has got Scrivens going defensive as they head over the bridge. This could be his opportunity, getting him out of shape on the exit of the bridge, and this is where he needs good traction and a good run now, and he's got it. I think he'll be making a move at the end of this bend away.
Here we go. Around the outside, is it gonna be enough speed here for Lucas Schmidt? Well, not really. Dylan braking a little bit later. A little bit of contact there. Luckily Dylan keeps it together. Almost lost it there. So Jan Vesely and Leonov still pretty close, probably.
Yep, they are. I mean, I was surprised that, I don't know if it was Scrivens braking very, very late, or perhaps Schmidt braking a little bit early. I mean, he's still within touching distance, but not looking like making a move anytime soon. But this final sector, it's not the easiest of places to make an overtake.
Dylan braking nicely for the last corner. Schmidt looks a little bit unstable on the braking as well. Maybe he has got some suspension damage or something. But let's see, coming out to turn one. There's only 2 laps remaining now for them. And Michi Hoyer's DNF. What happened to Michi?
He was in 5th place a moment ago.
Spin around. Let's see what happened. Did he lose it on a curb? Or did he hit the wall somewhere? Exit curb there. Ooh, yeah, did on a curb and lost the wheel, lost the rear wing. That is end of race for Michi Hoyer. Fortunate to see he fought back nicely to 5th position after his incident at the start of the race. But now he has got to DNF his car.
Schmidt and Scrivens, yeah.
Really close.
He had a run at him heading towards the entry to the tunnel. He couldn't quite get him as out of shape as he did previous time around. Is Schmidt going to brake later on this occasion? Not really. I don't think he's liking this car on the brakes into that hairpin.
Ooh, Schmidt around. Yeah, a little bit too early on the power maybe. A little bit of to oversteer the car maybe, or suspension damage or something, but spun around, and that has robbed him of the chance to get second position from Dylan.
Callum Wilson under pressure, no, he's not. Sorry, he's got back markers around him. That was a little confusing for me. Sorry there, Felix, cutting you off. But I had seen that there was a few cars around Callum Wilson and Gabriel. They were close a little earlier on. I think, the next battle is Vesely and Leonov.
Leonov Tucson and who's that? Jan Vesely. Once again, Leonov into that yellow sandwich. Seems to be that somebody is lagging a little bit. Leonov. Leonov spun around almost, makes a mistake and loses the position to Matthew Tucson. Now we are in the last lap. Martin Stefanko is in his last lap. So I think no big deal for him anymore to take it home safely. Only a couple of corners to get through. Leonov makes a little bit of a peek at the inside here at the hairpin. Matthew Tucson. But I'm gonna keep my eye on Martin Stefanko now, coming through the last sector. Coming home to finish. Or well, still has one sector to go through, sorry.
Stefanko then going on to take the victory here into the final corner. He'll be happy with that one, taking the win for the sprint race here in Valencia. Dylan Scrivens quite a way behind, but I think he'll be fairly pleased with the second place finish.
Yeah, definitely. Scrivens now also coming to the last corner. Good job from him. Lucas Schmidt, unfortunately not able to challenge Scrivens all that much, but takes it home in third position, running up the podium here for the sprint race. Karol Basko in fourth position. Good job from him as well. New name for FSR, and I think he should be happy to finish here in fourth position. Now Danny van der Niet. Didn't really see much of him in the feature race. Had an incident at the start that caused him to DNF. Had an incident in the start here as well, but could fight back up to fifth position. Good job from him. KBL Martin, somebody spinning around there. Callum Wilson, and maybe dropping a place there from Gabriel Martin Alvarado. Don't know what happened there.
Leonov's going into the pits on the last lap. He's just lost the position.
Maybe he's got a cut penalty or something. He was quite aggressive on the curbs I saw earlier. So, I don't know. But yeah, Matthew Tucson, 9th position. 10th position for Thomas Andriamiarisoa. Oh, that's a long last name. Martin Pankertov 11th. Josh Radford takes home 12th position. Leonov 13th after his pit stop. Fortunate for him. Was looking for a good 10th position, I believe. And then it is Todor. First Clayton Blount, Tank Applegate, Todor Vasilev, and then Blair Disby. Normally does very well in the sprint races. Unfortunately, this race not really, and ends up as the last finisher here today.
Well, an interesting couple of races we've had there. I mean, what can we take from it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a very hectic sprint race. Feature race went way better in my opinion, but hey. That's stuff that happens here in the Winter Series. Of course, a lot of inexperienced guys as well here. But yeah, I think there's not a lot to talk about anymore now, or is there?
Probably not. I mean, I think the only thing that I would say is that for a lot of these guys, this is where they come to see how they get on and see what things are like. I mean, the Winter Series, it's obviously it's not the same as World Championship, Ace or Pro, and people will make mistakes. But the thing for me is seeing how people learn from the mistakes that they might make in the Winter Series. Little things like in the feature race where we saw a guy spin out, should have just waited for cars to pass him, but instead decided to try and spin it around and ends in mass carnage. They're the kind of things that, okay, you've made the mistake, learn from it, don't do it again. And if they keep doing it, that's where I think my concerns would come from.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. I'd like to thank you, Dave, for joining me once again here in the commentary booth.
No problem. Thank you for doing the stream.
Yeah, no problem. And of course, all the viewers, thank you for watching. If you watch this stream and were like, I can do this better, I want to try this as well, just head over to our forums and you can try it out yourself. There's a lot of information about the Winter Series, also about the new series. There's only one round remaining in the Winter Series, so if you want to try it out, you have to be quick, because that round is gonna be next week. It's gonna be at Dubai, and same time schedule as today. And yeah, I think that's it. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and for now, take care, and hope to see you all next week.